Kaiju fans and viewers of the world. It is I, Goji Fan 1000. And today I was gonna break down the Pacific Rim Uprising trailer and make multiple discussions, but then I decided to make a new technique for myself to actually compile like multiple discussion videos into one and have them organized like a big discussion. So, this is the first time I'm doing this. It's a new technique. I'm not really used to it. Comment down below if you guys think I should do more discussion videos like this, and let's begin. Enjoy. The trailer opens with our Kaiju Fusion, who we still do not have a, complete confirmed name for it yet, but I'm just calling him the Fusion Giant. And we see him, and we actually get to see a little bit more of his true strength and power, and that this fusion can roar so hard or so strong that it can, rush, cars and debris, which is something a normal kaiju could do, but it just looks more powerful this way. And we get like a better look at the Universal and the Legendary logo. The Universal logo looks, and I don't know, they all look pretty neon and Universal, kind of alienish, but it looks great. We also get to look at the Jaeger program, or like, the Shadow Domes looking in different areas. We get John Boyega. We get to see the new Jaeger pilots. I'm not really a big fan of the Jaeger pilot suits. I don't know, I just don't like them. Don't look like they've been, I don't know, they just don't look like they have much work put into them. Now we get to see the Jaegers, similar to like, that testing where they were, being built up to fly into space like rockets. We get a little bit of Michael Murray. And the design of the interior cockpit for the Jaeger like heads, they actually look pretty good. And Newt is back, and we get to see a little bit more of Mako, a little bit more of the Shadow Dome, and it cuts to the Jaegers flying off into space. And then it cuts to the Kaiju hybrids, opening, the portal to the breach. And I think it's the same area from the first movie, the same area where the other breach is. We see a monster hand come out. I'm assuming that one's Raijin. We cut to John Boyega's character, also known as Jake Pentecost, giving, his honorable, speech or something to, get them ready for a fight. You see the Jaegers charging, and we see this other character who looks like she's, in, shock or pain. Maybe this might be Guardian Bravo, and one of her pilots may have died in one of the fights, maybe with the Fusion Kaiju, and we cut the Gypsy Avengers lifting a Jaeger pilot into his hand. We get a little bit more of, Racer Phoenix, I think? I'm sorry, I mixed up the names, but we get a Kaiju getting whipped. That's not meant to sound sexual, but we see the Jaegers charging in battle again. We also get to see Saber Athena getting a little bit more action. She's going in with the dual knives, and she's just slicing up, Kaijus. Well, not, cutting them to pieces, but doing some pretty good damage with them. We see the Jaeger hybrids shooting missiles, Gypsy Avenger fall from space, and we get to see Racer Phoenix using these, it's like rotating guns that travel from her front to her back. And we see the third pilot for Bracer Phoenix shooting them, and she's having a good time, I can tell. And then we see Saber Athena. I think she's the most agile and most, quickest Jaeger, similar to Striker Eureka, more nimble. And she's, as you can see, she kicks one of the Kaijus in the face. She has that kind of parkour style. And we see this army of tiny Kaiju-like creatures. They might act as, nanobots, because they actually have a key part, as Newt's partner describes. There's something coming. There's something different. And the following scene involves these little nanobot-like kaijus fusing Raijin and the two other kaijus together, making this huge fusion one. And I'm actually going to give it a new name. I'm just going to call them Exterminator, because that's what Newt called them in the first Pacific Rim movie. So I'm just going to call this one Exterminator X. And you can see just the sheer size of it and its power. And we get to see something new. This Kaiju, the Exterminator, charges its hand and just slaps Gypsy Avenger into the air with complete ease. And the following scene, it cuts to another Jaeger being thrown through the wall, and it's Bracer Phoenix, or Guardian Bravo, I'm not really sure. But I think Guardian Bravo trips over them. No wait, that's not Guardian Bravo, that's actually, never mind. I'm getting off topic, but they had a little sponsor for the car and whatever. We cut to Nuke, who's like, yep, plan B. We see Guardian Bravo bring out his whip, his lightning whip, and he starts, just like in the other trailer, he jumps up and he tries to, whip the Kaiju, and he's going in for the kill. But then we get to see a little bit more of the Exterminator X's, true power. He grabs onto that whip, and he swings Guardian Bravo through all those buildings and throws him into another. Just this trailer truly captures the sheer power of this kaiju fusion, and that it might be near unstoppable. I mean near unstoppable, maybe even stronger than Slatter. Then we cut right to what we all been waiting for, a little bit more scenes with Gypsy Avenger fighting Obsidian Fury, and we get that same scene with, you know, the dual chainsaws, and he was about to cut Gypsy Avenger's head off, but, you know, he's like, it's like a standstill. Gypsy Avenger uppercuts him, and we get to see a little bit more of like how they fight, how they interact. And in the trailer they do, it's in another trailer, I'm actually doing this based off the IMAX trailer, he's like, he doesn't look like one of ours, so this confirms that Obsidian Fury isn't a rogue Jaeger built by the Jaeger program, but one sent by the Persecutors, the aliens from the first movie. We get to see another cameo of that kaiju. We don't know what his name is, and I don't think he's involved with the battle in Tokyo at all. Then we see the fusion kaiju actually, I think there's going to be a few Jaeger deaths in this movie, just like in the first one, because we see him ripping Racer Phoenix apart, or maybe that is, it was some other Jaeger, but still, that one got ripped apart. That might be why the other pilot is in mourning in the other scene. You see Gypsy Avenger try to, you know, attack him from behind, and then Exterminator X just grabs him and slams him down to the ground, dragging him across the city, and Gypsy Avenger, you know, counters that with kicking him and blasting him with his, like, plasma gun multiple times, you know, to do all that damage. And, well, that's pretty much it. Then he just, you know, charges up to the punch, he punches the kaiju in the face, and then it cuts off to the title, you know, Pacific Rim Uprising. There's your movie. But then, like, another good part happens, where it shows off a new skill that Gypsy Avenger has, which is, like, it's called the gravity sling, where, I don't know, it manipulates gravity. It's pretty cool, but I wish it was kind of, I don't know, I'm having mixed feelings about the whole gravity sling thing. I'm not really sure about it. I don't know, it just doesn't, it doesn't fit well with me. It's cool to look at, it's visually amazing, and he hits, you know, Obsidian Fury, and it looks to cause a bit of damage. Obsidian Fury has a couple of dents in his suit, so they might be doing damage, and he says, let's see him absorb this, which means, I don't know, it means something. So that's the end of, that's my trailer breakdown. Now, time to talk about the fights. Now, we see in one of the trailers that the Kaiju Fusion is climbing up a mountain. Probably this might be before or after the battle in Tokyo. This could mean that the Jaegers lose the fight in Tokyo and some of them get destroyed, and the Kaiju Fusion leaves by climbing up the mountain, ensuring its victory. So, at the beginning of the other trailer, we see the Kaiju roaring, and it's so powerful and so loud that it shoots. Like, it literally, it's like a gust of wind that's, you know, just blowing cars, debris, and people right, you know, in front of the Jaegers. So they charge up, they're getting ready to kick this Kaiju Fusion's ass. And it looks super badass. Probably one of the greatest, I don't know, not the greatest, I'm over-exaggerating, but the fight in the trailer does seem well choreographed, and I cannot wait to see it when, you know, when it's in theaters, when I get to, you know, finally see it. We get Saber Athena, as I previously stated in the trailer breakdown. She is super agile. We get a little bit more scenes with her fighting and slicing up kaijus. We see Gypsy Avenger lifting what appears to be a Jaeger pilot or the Scrapper bot, but it looks like his face visor or plate thing was broken. It could have been the battle in Tokyo, and Gypsy Avenger may have flew into space and is traveling back down to Earth. That's why we get this scene of him in a Superman-like pose. We get Bracer Phoenix with the rotating guns, which looks super badass, and I can tell because of the Jaeger, she's super excited, you know, just killing kaijus left and right. Saber Athena doing some parkour shit, and then kicking a kaiju right in the face. Jaeger power! But, yeah, I kind of lost myself there. Sorry, I got caught up with the trailer. But, yeah, as I was saying, in the breakdown, these nanobot-like kaijus are a key part in the movie, you know, that involves fusing these monsters together to create what I call Exterminator X. Well, until the movie gives that kaiju an official name, I'm just going with that. But the transformation, it looks pretty cool. They're melding together, almost like, you know, machine. It's almost like machinery, because they kind of have a metallic look to them. And we see, you know, the fusion, you know, Exterminator X's shadow it's overwhelming them, and I don't know what this red mist comes from. It might be a result of the fusion or maybe something else, but we see, you know, Exterminator X charge up his fist, almost like Iron Fist on Netflix, and he just slaps Gypsy Avenger into the air. And just at that moment, Bracer Phoenix just, you know, does a little dash and avoids it. You know, that actually looks pretty funny though. I like how nimble and, you know, physically capable these Jaegers are. They're super agile, more than like, you know, the Mark IV. So Gypsy Avenger gets slapped in his fucking face and falls to the ground. We cut to Bracer Phoenix being thrown through a building, and, you know, he falls down, and then Guardian Bravo trips over him, which actually looks pretty hilarious. It's almost like an actual fight with humans and like actual animals. And, you know, his fist bumps into a car, kind of referencing that scene in Pacific Rim 1 where, you know, Gypsy Danger's fist was going through that building, and there was like the ball with the string thing. I don't know. We cut to Newt, then we get to see the Scrapper bot, which may be involved with the Battle of Tokyo. I don't know what Scrapper will do to be involved, but I really want to find out in a future trailer. We go back to Guardian Bravo charging up his whip, getting ready to whip the shit out of Exterminator X. But then, you know, as the trailer shows, Exterminator X is no pushover. He grabs that whip and he tosses them through those buildings, and it looks awesome every time I see it. He grabs it, throws them across the buildings and stuff, just like a rag doll, man. It's freaking brutal. I love it. I love, you know, monster battles like this where we get to see, you know, buildings being destroyed, and it's not just composite shots where we get to see like the full size of them, but we get to see, like, you know, close-ups and real interactions, which is great. Then we cut to this scene where Exterminator X is being torn apart. Well, I'm sorry, I misplaced the words. Bracer Phoenix, or the other Jaeger, I don't know its name yet, I'm not really sure, but it gets torn apart, and I believe it's this one. Comment down below this Jaeger's name, because I don't know its name. But then Gypsy Avenger comes swooping down, trying to hit it from the back, lol. Then Exterminator X grabs him, slams him to the ground, and just starts dragging him up the street with just like sheer force. Gypsy Avenger retaliates this by kicking him right in his face, and then he blasts him with his plasma cannons, I think at least 4 or 5 times, you know, matching the rhythm of the trailer, which is awesome, completely awesome. And, you know, Gypsy Avenger, you know, he gets ready for that money shot. You know, he stands in front of the camera, and he gets ready to punch that kaiju right in the face. Well, we don't actually see him punch him, but it still looks pretty cool nonetheless. And that's when the trailer ends. So, what I think about it, I think the CGI is definitely improving. It looks so much better. That's what trailers do nowadays, where like they improve the, you know, the visual effects with each trailer until the finished movie comes out. And I think when the movie comes out, what we see now will be even better than before, because, you know, just like Avengers Infinity War, or with, like, you know, the other Marvel movies, you know, they show everything, but then there's that negative space and there's that room for more digital effects to be put in. And, well, there you go, there's a big definition of what's happening. So that was the kaiju fight, and I just think it's awesome. Now let's get on to our next part of the video. Now it's time to talk about the reason why people came to see this movie. The Jaegers! I mean monsters! I mean the monsters and the Jaegers. You know what? Do these people even give a damn? I swear they stopped caring after the first movie. I mean, anybody who watches anime would know, like, you know why. If people have seen Gundam, or Godzilla, or any, you know, nostalgic childhood monster cartoon or whatever. Where am I going with this? Anyway, the kaijus in the movie, they look phenomenal. One big question I have for it is, are there as much kaijus that are shown in the trailer? Will there be a lot of them? And I use the word a lot of kaijus very loosely, because in the first movie, we got to see all these original monsters. Well, you know, they're based off other creatures, but are we getting more like original kaijus? Like how we got Leatherback, we got Otachi, we got multiple kaijus that, have the same pattern and detail. It only looks like we're getting 3 big bads that fuse into one big bad and miniature little monsters that help contribute to fusing them together. And we got the Jaeger Kaiju hybrids. Now that is a lot of monsters in the movie on its own. But are we getting multiple versions of the big bads like we got in Pacific Rim 1? That's my only question that I'm still waiting for an answer. I hope we do get more monsters. And there were more Jaegers that are like in the movie, but that's a whole different part of the discussion video that I will get to. But my thoughts on the kaiju, they're amazing. I love how they look. They look meaner. They look, I wouldn't say scary. They look fanboyish. It looks more like fan service. Just stuff that we actually come to the movie to see. The kaijus, they have their designs are unique and they are awesome. And I'm not complaining about it. I love how these kaijus look. I don't care that Raijin looks like the Demogorgon in, Stranger Things. I mean, people think I care because, I just brought it up, but still, the kaijus, they're menacing, they're terrifying, they look pretty big, and they look like they can match up with the Jaegers. I love these kaijus. That's all I can say. Now on to our next part of the video. Oh yes, my prayers have been answered. Kaiju Jaeger hybrids. Now we get a better look at them in the trailer. The visual effects obviously look a lot better. They look more kaiju-ish with like Jaeger armor on top. I don't know, but it looks pretty cool. In their chest beams, similar to Gypsy Danger, they're opening up the breach. We see that kaiju hand, Newt, and there's like a kind of like biographic like musculature scan of like what they are, so they might be discovering their own weaknesses. Other than kaiju hybrids, we got the nanobite kaijus and Raiju and the other exterminators, and them fusing together to make Exterminator X. I don't know why I did the Schwarzenegger voice. I'm gonna shut up for a second. Anyway, for the Kaiju Jaeger hybrids, we get to learn a little bit more about them, their characteristics, and we didn't even get to learn a lot about them. We just saw them for a split second, but still, we got to see just a little bit more of them. They look a lot better. And speaking of Kaiju Jaeger hybrids, I don't think Cole Obsidian is a Kaiju Jaeger hybrid either. Just like everyone else said, he's a rogue Jaeger, but he's not a rogue Jaeger from the Jaeger program. I don't think he's like one of the other Jaeger programs coming to destroy both Kaijus and Jaegers. I think he is like, just like an AI that's been taken over, or Obsidian Fury is actually like, he's actually like a Jaeger Kaiju hybrid 2.0, or maybe, and this is just a little theory of mine. Well, actually, my theory kind of debunks itself. My original theory was that Cole Obsidian was made from the salvaged remains of Gypsy Danger that the persecutors found when one part of their land was destroyed, like in the first movie, where like they destroyed the breach, but also simultaneously like blew them up. I think the persecutors found like whatever stuff that was left, if there was anything left, and they built it into Obsidian Cole and sent them back to fight the Jaegers in this movie. But that theory debunks itself because Gypsy Danger is a walking nuclear reactor, and once he exploded, I'm pretty sure there was nothing left of him or that land that was destroyed, part of that dimension. So that theory kind of debunks itself, and I feel kind of sad about that because I actually had a little bit of confidence in that, and yeah, I still got my imagination. It still works. Either way, we get to see a little bit more fighting between Gypsy Avenger and Cole Obsidian, which actually looks pretty cool. Gypsy Avenger seems to be doing a lot of damage. Cole Obsidian seems to have a lot of dents and cracks in his armor. All the Jaegers look a bit damaged in the movie. They're getting hit, thrown around, and pushed through buildings and stuff, almost getting chainsawed in the neck. So yeah, they're getting pretty beat up, but I I think that there's only gonna be like 1, 2, or 3 encounters. One, like in the iceberg scene that we see in the trailer, it could be a flashback or a recurring scene in the movie, or this part could be at the climax of the movie, like the final fight between Gypsy Avenger and Cole Obsidian. But I don't think it's gonna be a climax. I think it's just gonna be like well, I feel pretty stupid because I just realized that if you wanted to learn more about Gypsy Avenger versus Cole Obsidian, this is the exact video. I feel so dumb, and I already recorded it, and I don't feel like deleting it, so deal with me. I'm an idiot. That's classified. So yeah, you learned enough about the... Where was I? Alright, I already broke down, you know, the fight and what's going on and my theories about what's happening. So I'm just gonna give my thoughts on if this is even important or relevant to the movie. I think it adds like a bit of like, you know, secrecy and mystery to the whole thing. You know, having friends turn on each other almost like a Jaeger, not like a Jaeger redemption. At first I actually thought Cole Obsidian would be like a bad Jaeger at first, and then, you know, change his ways and then help, you know, Gypsy Avenger and the others fight the aliens in the end. But based on the trailers, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I think Cole Obsidian is probably just a dick who hates everybody. You know, that he's that type of villain. So yeah, that's my breakdown of Gypsy Avenger versus Cole Obsidian. Now let's get on to another part of the video. Boom. And now it's time to talk about Gypsy Avengers upgrades, which we already knew before the trailer even came out. Now, Elbow Rocket 2.0. Use to punch Kaijus in the face. He punches Raiju in the face and it looks badass. We also get another scene where Kaiju's flying into a building. That's cool. But then, Gypsy Avenger pulls out the Chain Sword 2.0. Uses to slice Cole Obsidian's ribs. The brutality. Now, his newest weapon. A weapon that probably the producers pulled out of their asses, but looks pretty cool though. It's called the Gravity Sling. So awesome, it manipulates matter into a mass of some sort, and it flings it right at its enemies, doing some sick damage to Cole Obsidian. And that is Gypsy Avengers upgrades. There are other things, but I'm too lazy to even describe them. Now, for a bonus, Kaiju attacks. There's not that many, so, you know, deal with me. The Kaijus, they have super strong strength, able to toss a Jaeger with ease, and where's my script? And oh yeah, and charge their fist and hit them with a clever bitch slap technique, tossing Jaegers with complete ease, and being able to grab Jaegers in mid-air and slam them down to the ground, John Cena style. And that's pretty much it. Upgrades. Yeah! Next slide, please. Oh, thank God we were able to get through that ordeal. Now, on for what everybody is most excited for in Pacific Rim Uprising. The merchandise, which you can get with the newest Diamond Select, Gypsy Danger, Saber Athena, and Racer Phoenix. And also we got other monsters, other Jaegers, and we even got a bigger version of Gypsy Danger with customizable arms and the ship that he used to beat the crap out of Otachi with. We also get more pics of Raiju, the one Kaiju everybody loves, but the one nobody really talks about. Still, Raiju's a pretty cool Kaiju, and I like his figure. I would feel a lot better if NECA did the designs, because Raiju doesn't look too articulated. He looks more like he was made by Bandai, and it really shows. The Gypsy Avenger figure is more posable, but I don't know. Oh, so that was the other Jaeger, Titan Redeemer. I forgot that Jaeger's name during the video, so yeah. Well, merchandise aside, we got 2 new Jaegers. Like I previously stated, there are more Jaegers in the movie, I just did not know their names. Now, these Jaegers are called Valor Omega and November Ajax. Now, November Ajax is actually a pretty badass name. So these are probably on the side with Obsidian Fury, you know, the Jaegers built by the Persecutors and sent down to Earth to exterminate the Jaegers on Earth. And that's what I think, because they don't look like, I mean, they do look like the Jaegers that do fight Kaijus, but not much information is given about them, and they're put in the category with Obsidian Fury, so they might be rogue Jaegers just like him. Still, if there's any new information on him, make sure to comment down below and tell me, more about these monsters and these robots, because I need the information and I would like to share my thoughts about it with you. So yeah, that's the new Jaegers, awesome merchandise. If you happen to be near a Newberry Comics or any kind of comic book or toy shop, make sure to get the Diamond Select Gypsy Danger. It is a favorite, even though I don't have it. Where am I going with this? Next slide! Well, we have reached the climax of our discussion video. In my final thoughts, I think Pacific Rim Uprising, the trailer at most, is really great. I think I'm gonna enjoy this movie. I think it's gonna be a good movie to sit through. My one gripe is that I wish they'd had put a little bit more effort into the Jaeger pilot suits. I know it's supposed to be futuristic and they're far advanced than the first Pacific Rim movie, but at least, pay attention to like good detail, because it doesn't feel like Del Toro's style anymore. I don't know. It's just my one complaint. The suits kind of look like something a cosplayer would wear. I'm going to end the discussion here. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. This is actually my first time making a discussion video where I split topics into like certain pieces and slides. I hope you guys like that. Let me know if you want me to do more discussion videos like this. And always have a good day, my loyal fans. Here's a good video to end this off with.
I get my best flows to test on my next shows while my whiteboard is marked up with expos.